or project it rather. So the first thing that I would like to share with the people right now on how you can start a business. First thing first, self-discovery. Who are you? Okay. Many times would admire our friends' businesses, yeah? Meanwhile, you don't even know who you are. First thing, discover who you are first. What can I do best? Okay. Upon first self-discovery, now take keen interest of what you want to do. Okay. So, okay, can I do this with passion? Do you have vision about this and that? So, just like I earlier mentioned, we're talking about first discovery. Okay. And also talking about taking interest in that thing that you want to do. Yeah. And then, thirdly, look at the target market. Who are your target market? Who are your clients? Who do you want to be offering your services to? So not everyone that you be offering your services to, by the way. So we've got different forms of target market that you'll be offering your services to and products. So know who your target market is as well. So let me just emphasize so much on the self-discovery. You see, I think when I started, I first looked at it myself. Who am I and what can I do to the community? Okay, so it was first about my self-discovery. Who am I in the community? What can I do best in the community to help out, the public and the community alike? So it's a self-discovery. I think this is the major thing that anyone, before you start any business, discover who you are. Then do you have interest what you want to do? If you have interest, then take in interest and then start doing it. I think these are things that I can share about that one. Yeah, and then also something else that I'd also add on. It's about discipline. Yeah, we might have plans here and there, but then if you're not disciplined enough to execute those plans, I think it becomes imperative and it's of no use. I think these are things that I can share on how what it takes for you to start a business.
So for one to start a business, they're supposed first of all to discover themselves, then later on discipline themselves to make sure that they implement the things that they are thinking about or that they are dreaming about.
Exactly.
Right. So now a person has started their business now. They have started, they are already into the business. What do you think, what type of disciplines can they impose themselves to make sure that the capital that they are using or the money that they are generating from the business, they make sure that they invest the money wisely?
You see, business has got its own brain. Personal life has got its own brain, okay? These are two different lives, different two lifestyles, okay? So when we talk about discipline, I've seen friends of mine that have started business quite all right, doing well, but then in the long run, they had to mix up personal life with business life. That was so indiscipline of them, and it led to the downfall of their businesses. So when we talk about discipline in business, this is what we mean. Don't mix personal life with business. Let business operate on its own, and let personal life operate on its own. These are things that we should, put in place. We as many youths, most of the time, each time our business starts doing so fine, we begin to involve now personal life into the business. The moment you begin to bring in personal life into business, everything begins to go sour in your business because you're missing out the component of the ethics of business. That no, don't mix the two. These two, they operate separately. Okay? For instance, you're operating into a business, yeah? And then all of a sudden, your business, or rather with your plan that you've been having, your business start doing off. Whatever income that you're having or anything that you're generating from the business, any profit that you're generating from business, don't mix it with personal life. Let personal life be personal life and business life be personal business life. I think these are things that I can say about discipline when it comes to business.
So, sir, sorry. Let me just plug in my laptop.
All right.
So, in other ways, to simplify what you're saying personal life is supposed to be personal life and business is supposed to be business.
Exactly. Because these are two different worlds. If you're in a world of business, believe you me, never mix the two between business life and personal life. The moment you mix the two, your business gets to be more affected because your personal life will demand more than what your business does. Your personal life only demands something out of your business. It only sucks, the profit and any income that you're earning from the business. Your business will need more because business is all about investment. You're investing. Business wants more money to be invested into it, okay? Personal life will need more money to be spent. So the moment you start mixing the two, you're telling the ethics of business. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. So from the time that I've come to know you, sir, you have always
Yeah.
been that person that is always focused, you know,
Mm.
hardworking, committed. What really
Yeah.
drives you? What makes you different from other young people who sit
Uh,
under the same teachers like you, who listen to the same messages like you? What really makes you different?
I think we're all different. Just a matter of, just like I earlier said in the first place, it's all about self-discovery. I first discovered who I was or who I am, yeah? And when you know who you are, it's easy to notice your weaknesses. It's easy to notice your strength about yourself. So I would say what has made me different is about self-discovery. I first discovered myself and what I can do to the public and what I can do to the society, okay? This was the first thing that I did to myself, first discovery. Most of the time, youths would get into business, not knowing who they are, but for the sake of my friend is making so much money. So why would I start doing this? Okay. You haven't discovered who you are. You don't even know how far you can go with that business. Yeah. So you find people get into businesses, not because they know who they are, or because they have interest, but because they've seen someone doing something of the same and they're making so much money, and so you also want to do the same thing. So I feel the driving force that I've been having, I think it's about I think self-discovery. This is what has made me different from my fellow youths. Yeah.
So, for example, like when a person sees that the friend's business is going fine, is it wrong for a person to start the same business as the friend is doing because he's making a lot of money? Or maybe it's a wrong step to take?
Let me tell you one thing. I have a friend of mine. His name is Joseph Mwale. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I think some time back he had an interview with him as well. Joseph is running a company called Azuka Collection. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He deals with shoes, cosmetics, clothing, and so on. So he's doing pretty fine. All right. He's making good money in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's a brother of mine, so close to me. I look on how his business is running, and he sees how my business is running. We get to share ideas here and there. Now, imagine if I was to follow what he's doing. Okay, I don't think so. I can do well, despite of I having a large platform of clients who would buy those products. But I don't think it's my area of interest. I don't think it's something that I can do best. Okay, so just because my friend is doing fine, then I can also get into it. No, it doesn't work like that. I've got my area of expertise that I do better, that I do best. Okay, but I think I'm undermining myself. I think best. Yeah. So uh, uh, Joseph does best in those areas. Okay, and
Yes.
I do best in these areas. Okay, I'm into construction and installation. Joseph is into clothing and boutiques and so on. Okay, he does best in that. If I take
Yes, sir.
Joseph right now to come and install one of the set dish, he won't do the way I do it. Okay, because he has his own area on how he does things, and I've got my own area of doing things. So I shouldn't just copy my friend just because he's doing fine. Then I also jump into it, and then also do what he's doing and make more money. No, I think it doesn't work like that. If you're really a true entrepreneur, you should discover yourself and know where your interest is and where you can do best. Yeah.
Wow. So first of all, we are supposed to, in other ways, we're supposed to find our why prior to getting into something.
Exactly.
Oh, wow, wow, wow. So this question, as you are speaking, before my mind when you spoke of Mr. Joseph Mwale being an entrepreneur and you also being an entrepreneur. Why do you think?
Yeah.
I noticed that you are moving with powerful people, and there are many people on the platform. Really. Maybe probably we have never learned the power of association. Why do you think that associating with people that are doing good, even prior to us doing good, it is very important to our growth as people?
Okay. So I have a brother of mine who would he really encouraged me a lot about socializing with different kind of people. Okay. So his name is Rogers. He's a very good brother of mine, and he's a mentor as well to me. He mentors me a lot. So he said, he told me saying, you know what, Jolly, if you cannot socialize with different kind of people, your business will never grow. So he touched me because he said a lot of valid points that really got my attention. Yeah, you see, Joseph is a friend of mine. I think in the first place for us to tell the story of how JJ Entrepreneurs came into place, it was actually between me and him. Okay, and then later we had to split because he became more busy with work and I became more busy with the same JJ Entrepreneurs. And then later he came and started his own business. So I associate myself with people that I feel they can push me to those extent, people that encourage me to do more. Okay, this is where socialism comes in. The more I socialize with these people, the more I know more about them, and the more I strive to work hard and be like them. Okay, I've got another man who's in Livingston. His name is Mr. Owen. He's doing very fine. He has a construction company and other certain businesses. The man is doing really fine. Okay, and I've positioned where I can be a friend to him. Whenever I look at his works, it inspires me a lot to do even extra more hard. The people that I play around with, they're all doing very fine. I won't lie to you. They're doing very fine. These are the people that inspire me even to work extra hard, to go extra mile, okay? This is where socialism comes, and this is the power of socializing with different kind of people. You socialize these people, and that people. All together, you find that you're building yourself to be a better person. At the end of it all, you find that you even do better than those people that you're socializing with. So I guess socializing with others is really important, very important. This is where networking comes in, okay? If I've got 5 friends who are doing fine and they know my services, the services that I offer and products, it's easy for my services to be landed out there because of them. Remember, the people that you're socializing, that the potential market, what can I call them? The people that will market your business more than another person. So if I've got 5 people that I socialize with, people that I know very well, and they know my business and products, these are the people that will market my business even more. These are the people that, will uplift my business to different people. If I've got 5, let's say each one person has got 10 friends. Of course, then friends are going to know about my products and services. So this is where the power of socializing and network comes in. I think this is what I can explain about socializing and networking. Yeah.
Wow. Well, you know, thank you very much, Mr. Perry, for those insights. So,
Yeah.
what do we see JJ Enterprises in the next 2 years?
In the next 2 years, I think 2 years, because I'll be done with my exams this year. That's when I'll get done. So I want to get serious with my business next year. And now that I'm a student, I really don't want to push in so much because I have to divide time between work and school. If you don't study well, you will fail, and it will be so embarrassing for the people that know you and people that you inspire. So I feel in the next 2 years, I haven't made much more plans about 2 years, but I would say 3 years. 3 years to 5 years from now, at least I want to have 5 permanent workers, and then I can have these other contract workers. So in the next 3 to 5 years, I want to expand my business. First of all, I want to deal with Lusaka, province only, before I expand to other provinces. Because I cannot start expanding to other provinces when I cannot handle what I have at the moment. So I want first to expand more here in Lusaka. Then my services to many people and products. Then only then can I expand now to other premises. And expanding other premises, talking about maybe 5 years time from now. But in the next 3 years, I want to establish very well offices here in Lusaka, and just expand it more just within Lusaka for now. Yeah.
All right. So to our viewers, if you're having any questions, you can kindly type them in the chat box. We'll have some time to make sure that we ask our questions. I'll open the floor so that by the end of the day, we ask our questions very quickly. So if you're having any question, you can kindly type it in the chat box so that we attend to it. Mr. Jory Piri is readily available to answer those questions that you'll be asking. Please, we learn through asking, so ask your questions. Don't feel shy. We're here to learn.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Piri,
Yes.
can you just kindly give us tips on how wisely you are running your business? Is it only to invest in that same business, or you are supposed to look out for other sports where you can easily invest in your money?
Now, I have a brother of mine. His name is Webster. He's doing banking and finance at CBU. Uh, he first introduced me to uh, buying of shares. Buying of shares in companies is really important. That's a long-term investment that you can never do. So any profit that I'll be generating, I'm planning to start buying shares in different companies. The little goes a long way. So I think in the long run, this is what I'm planning on doing. And start buying shares in different companies. Same profit that I get to have from different kind of jobs that I do or services that I do. I want to invest in. I want to buy shares from different kind of companies. Yeah, I think this is my next big investment that I want to do.
Wow. So
Yes.
there is someone, probably amongst our viewers, who is thinking, what amount of money am I supposed to have to start a business? What advice can you give such a person?
Uh, I think that comes to capital. If I put this correctly, you're talking about capital, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think capital is about you yourself. I think yourself you're the biggest capital in business, and then you can look up to other resources later. But you yourself, you have to be the first capital into the business. I think just a brief story on how I started my business. It was in 2012 when I started dish installation, by the way, because that was the first service that I started doing. Then later I came to TV installation and curtain rods. Then later I started introducing other services. So the first thing that I put to this installation, I used to do a lot of things. Yeah, what I would do is by then I think I was still by then I was still grade. I was in grade 11, grade 12, yeah, grade 11, grade 12, somewhere there at North Mid Secondary School. So most of the time, what I would do is each time I knock off from school, at home I would go there and start washing buses. I would wash a lot of buses in the evenings. You know, bus drivers would knock off around 18, 19. So they would come park by our yard. So I would make quite a good money out of it. They would wash about 5, 6 cars. And the plus was that I know how to drive. And even by then, I knew how to drive. So each time the bus drivers would bring their buses, they'd leave the keys. And each time I'm done washing it, I'll take it to the car park. So I was the first capital to my business. I never waited for someone to give me money and start business. Okay, it started with me. I was the first capital that I invested into myself. Yeah. So from there, the money that I was raising, yeah, I would keep it for other necessities and so on. Then later, my dad bought a satellite dish. That was in 2010 when Kunalipa Bola and so on. So dad first bought his first satellite dish. And I took in interest to the guys that were studying it, and they taught me how to do it. I was taught to be paying 70 kwacha a day. Each time I do, they teach me something a day. I would pay 70 kwacha. 70 kwacha by then was quite good money and so hard to find. So that's how they taught me on how to do this installation. I never had any money. Okay. So each time I'm called for dish installation, I never had anything by then. I would borrow from them the tools. Kindly ask me for the tools so I can do this installation for one of the clients and so on. And they would give me the money that I would get. I started keeping. Then I worked for this other client who was so happy with me, and we had so many things that we shared together. And I told him, say, the things that I'm even using, these aren't even mine at all. I've just brought this thing. And luckily, he bought the things for me. He bought the satellite finder for me, and he bought other things. So when you talk about capital, I think first of all, you yourself be the capital. Then let the rest come in later. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you very much, Mr. Perry. So I'm supposed to be the capital, and each and every one of our
Exactly.
viewers, they are supposed to be capital. You are supposed
Yes.
you are your own capital, right? Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
There are questions. There are questions in the chat box. So due to time, we'll start taking in some questions. So that by the end of the
All
day,
right.
running with time. So there are questions. That point on self-discovery is solid. What was your motive for going into business? So, sir, there is a question.
What's the question? What's the question again? I just didn't get you right. You broke at some point. What's the question?
Yes. There is a question here. What was your motive for going into business? First, you said about self-discovery. Then later on, you said there is a question now later on saying, what was your motive for going into business?
Mm, my motive. I think I want to live a good life. I want to live a good life. So
Uh,
I want to live a good life. So I think my motive was I've always wanted to be independent in life. I never want to ask for things from people. I always want to fight for my own. Okay. So
mhm.
it's because of this that I thought, you know what, I think let me start business. And the way we've been raised up at home, we've been raised up in a way that we do things on our own. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think that drove me into starting my own business. And I had so much interest in touching a lot of things, you know, electrician and so many things. So I think these are the motive that really drive me into starting my own business. Yeah.
So, wow. So, we want to live a good life. Mr. Perry, you love a good life. So, there's a question.
A
There's
good life
also
is good.
another. there's also another question here. Let
Yeah.
me just try to scroll through the questions. So, what core values are of JJ Enterprises since integrity comes first for a company?
The core values. Uh, I think it's about we we are honest to our clients. Once being honest to our clients. Secondly, we offer our services to the fullest, not to our expectations, but the expectations of our clients. Okay, because if we do to our expectations, what we like is not what our clients love. So these are things that really these are the core values of our business. First thing, be honest to our clients and uh, giving the services to our fullest. Yeah, I think these are things that I would say for now.
Wow. Thank you very much for that answer, Mr. Perry. There's let me see. Dr. Arts, you can just kindly come in through for the questions. You can read the questions for Mr. Perry.
Okay, sure, sir. Thank you very much. So now, Mr. Perry, okay, this one has been read. How did you raise capital? Was there any help with how to go about? Okay, this one has already been answered also. Okay, you talked on self-discovery. So how can you discover yourself? Mr. Perry?
Self-discovery.
Yes.
I think the way when the things that I took for me to discover myself were at home. My dad is into construction as well. He's running a company called Grid Solution. These are general dealers. So each time we're doing something at home, I'd be the first, despite of I being the firstborn, you know, I have to be the lead of these things. But then there was that driving force that I had each time I'm doing something, and I'll do it to the fullest, to the best. My dad would be so proud of me when each time I'm doing something. And then, you know, as time goes by, each time I'm doing something at home, for instance, if dad is doing some electric work at home, I'll be there to help and I'll be there taking full-time attention to see what's going on. Each time there's any construction thing going on, I'll be there taking full-time attention to see what's going on. I think because of that, I started developing interest for it. And later I sat down, I was like, okay, why do I have so much interest for this? I think this is maybe the area that I can do best, okay? And because of that, I knew that okay, this is what I can do good. I knew okay, this is my area of expertise. This is what I can do best. I think this is where it began from when we talk about self-discovery. And later I started offering services, and it's so surprising. The first two clients that I worked for, I did to the perfect. They were so happy, and I knew okay, this is what I have to do. This is my area of expertise, and I was so happy to do it. And the first thing that came into place was services first before money. You know, in business, if you put money first, you're making a very big mistake. In business, first certify your customers, then let them pay you good later. Let not money be the focal point, but let services and products be the focal point of your business. I think this is how I discovered myself. Yeah.
Wow, wow, wow. Loving the meeting, loving the meeting. I hope we're taking notes, because one who does not take notes will never be noted. So there is another question. How do you differentiate yourself from your business, from the business? How do you
How do I
differentiate self from business?
Mhm.
Like,
How
since
do I
you talked about one,
Mhm.
You talked about one not personalizing or maybe putting personal problems into the business, because at the end of the day, they'll you collapse. So here now is a question that has been asked, but how do you differentiate yourself from business?
Okay, so
Your
because I
personal
believe
matters
most of
from
the people that
business.
I believe a lot of people that are on this platform are youth. So let me give this practical example. Yeah, I have this friend of mine. Let me tell you a story of this friend of mine before I tell you how I've differentiated between my business and my personal life. He started selling shoes and watches, wristwatch, and a lot of things. He would sell and all that. He would make quite good money. And then here came this girlfriend that he had. He had a girlfriend. So the funny thing was, it was time for the girlfriend to go. It was her birthday, actually. And you know, this guy gets under pressure. He needs money. And he has got quite good savings in his account, business account. Now, what does he do? He gets the entire money and, you know, go for a girlfriend's birthday. The business right now, it failed. You started asking around for capital if he can start his business again. So the way I've differentiated myself and separated myself between business and personal life, I put business separate. Let business run itself and let my personal life run itself. What do I mean? Business has got capital, okay? There's a man that you've put separately that cannot be touched no matter what. Whatever challenge that the business faces, use that money to bring it back to its, to bring it back, okay? I've got my life, okay? I've got my girlfriend. I've got my personal life. I need to enjoy as well. I need to have fun as a youth. But there's a man that I've put separately for business that this man is never touched, no matter what. Rather, go hungry and leave this man alive. Because at some point, business get to save me. Okay? So there's this man that I don't touch, no matter what. This man is just stays there like that. This is capital for my business. I get the little profit that I make from business, and that's the money that I use to enjoy my life. But there's this money that I don't touch, no matter what happens, no matter what. I'd rather borrow from someone and like touching something from my business. And this is how I've separated the two. Let my business run on its own and let my personal life run on its own. I think this is how I've differentiated myself. I don't know if I've answered the question correctly.
Well, Mr. Pri, we are remaining with almost 2 minutes. For those questions that will not be read, you can kindly follow Mr. Perry. Will be making very soon. He'll start making videos on business entrepreneurship. So if you want to connect with Mr. Perry, you can kindly visit his Facebook page, JJ Enterprises. There is also his Facebook account is Jolly Perry. So those are his names. So, Mr. Perry, you can kindly give us the closing remarks.
I think what I would close with is business is a very good adventure. You really get to enjoy in business. So long as you're doing the right thing and you're offering the right services and products to the community and the world at large. So I feel we youths, we should learn to do something of our own. Let's not wait for the government to employ us. Let's not wait for some company to give us a course and all the employment here. Let us ourselves employ ourselves into our own business and be entrepreneurs. I myself, for once, I don't look up to get employed into the government. I don't look at myself to get employed by any other company. I want myself to employ myself into my business, and I want to employ others. So we as youths, I think this is the most cardinal point that we should take in keen interest. Let's get into entrepreneurship. There's everything in entrepreneurship. There's stress, of course. It's never easy. Let me tell you one thing. It's never easy. There's always harms here and there. You know, you face certain challenges that you feel, let me just give up. But that time that you want to feel like giving up, strive more hard, work more hard. And the moment you pass that stage, believe me, there are good fruits behind that challenge. So these are the things that we youth should be looking up to. Let's be independent and let's not blame the government all the time that they're not doing so far. There's no employment here and there. Employ yourself. I think these are the most things that we should look up to. I think these are the things that I can say. And the way to the other students as well. As students, don't just because you're a student you can't start a business. No, that's a lie. I'm a student, and I came to Evelyn Horn College as a student. I I started studying pharmacy 3 years ago here at Evelyn Horn College, and even then I was still doing business. So when I talked about discipline, this is where you divide time. You know, divide time. Be disciplined about time. When it's time for school, when it's time for work, let's do for works. So let's learn to be disciplined about time. I think this is the most thing that we as youths we lack. Discipline. We lack discipline. Let's be disciplined about time, and let's be disciplined how we carry ourselves out. People get to see a lot of things about us. So the moment you're disciplined, well, you're good to go. These are the final remarks that I can really give.
Thank you very much, Mr. Phiri. It has really been an amazing meeting. I've learned a lot, and I believe the viewers have learned a lot. If you have kindly learned something, you can kindly type in the chat box. Dr. Arts, you're also an entrepreneur. Can you kindly give us the closing remarks with Pamuela Graphics?
Pamuela Graphics. Just like the man said, you know, before you look at the money part first, make sure that the services are to the fullest. That's where now you can talk money. The moment when you put money first, it will be really hard to provide the best services. And I remember the point that he said, do not do your business based on your expectations, but do them the expectations of the client that you're doing it for. So as Pamuela Graphics, we are always high and doing to our best level in order to package your business. So if you've got any graphic design that you want to do, feel free to come on that with Pamuela and assure you that your business will be well packaged. Thank you very much, sir.
So if you are having any of those services, if your family is in need, if you are in need of any of the services that Mr. Phiri is providing, please kindly contact him. He's a very trustworthy man. He will surely deliver beyond